In the last video, we learned that while we believe our remote work model looks like this, it's actually the model of the office, driven by video conferencing and messaging. We blame remote work for this way of working, but the root causes may lie elsewhere. I have a few theories. Let's start with the first one. Back in the day, we communicated a lot in writing. Email was the OG of company communication. There were problems with this, no doubt, but real-time communication across locations was expensive, so we relied a lot on writing. In the last decade, email has died a slow death. With the decline of email, we saw the rise of instant messaging and video conferencing. You see, instant messaging and video conferencing seem inexpensive, but they give us death by 1,000 cuts. Here's something I've learned from my research. We spend 35% of our time in meetings. We report 1/3 of these meetings to be a waste of time. I work for a services firm, so we're good at putting a cost on people's time. You can peg the loss in productivity per person at $12,833. And let me explain that number if dollars don't always make sense. If we had that cash, each of us could buy a new car with it and upgrade it every year. That would be highly irresponsible, but I just want to make a point about how much money that is. The reason we don't pay attention to it too much is because this is a hidden cost. But someone is paying the cost, just not evidently. So the death of written communication and the seeming low cost of real-time communication is one reason we work the way we do. Let's look at reason number 2. All software development teams consider themselves agile. Some answers may lie in the rich history of this movement. So let's go and examine where this all started. The Agile Manifesto. It's a wonderful document, but when a document is as broadly written, it's prone to misinterpretation. For example, let's dive into one of the principles. It says, the most efficient and effective method of conveying information in a team is face-to-face conversation. Okay. So the way many of us interpret this is that on agile teams, everything is a conversation. This works for a 2-person team. There's just one line of communication, right? But the moment you go to 3 people, one line goes to 3 lines. 4 people, 6 lines. 5 people, 10 lines. 6 people, 15 lines. You get the drift, right? Verbal communication becomes complex and unmanageable with team size. A 14-person team has 91 lines of paired communication. This approach to tribal communication just doesn't scale. According to me, reason number 2 is how we misinterpret the Agile Manifesto. What's number 3 then? Let's find out. Number 3 relates to the enterpriseification of Agile, if there is such a word. Agile is a simple philosophy at its core. Take, for example, how we break down problems. We have a large piece of software to build. We break down the work into small pieces, and you know these as user stories. Pause for a second and think about the benefits we get from user stories. They promote simple design, you shorten the feedback loop, and most importantly, you lower risk. If you're wrong, you can't be too wrong. Yet, our processes aren't simple, and they surely don't embrace risk. For example, let's examine the standard Scrum process. Between sprint planning, stand-up meetings, sprint reviews, and retrospectives, you've booked yourself 5 hours of meetings per week. And that would be okay if we didn't also have a ton of other ceremonies. If you zoom into a sprint, there are many other meetings that happen to deliver that humble user story. Kickoffs, where the product owner tells people what the story is about. Desk checks for testers to do informal exploratory tests. Huddles for impromptu problem solving and decision making. Before you know it, small things add up. That tiny user story may go through up to 7 different meetings, depending on the team or company you work in. Let that sink in. 7 different meetings. And you know the problem with meetings. They're costly, they interrupt our flow, and when your calendar is full of them, they also kill flexibility. And there you have number 3, the enterpriseification of Agile. Now that we understand the problem, it's time to talk solutions. For that, check out the next video.